park here. We are on our way home from the late night showing of I Know You Did Last Summer. And that movie was worse than the smell of the Springfield River air. Jacob's mostly silent over here.
Why do you think that is?
Because he thinks it was an abomination and a complete shit show.
Ruined my childhood in more than one way. All I have to say is all I ever want from that movie is the t-shirt. That's all I want, honey. You know what I want for my birthday? A Helen Shivers t-shirt. Thank you. That would make me happy.
We'll have to make that happen.
Yes. Yes, we will. So there are movies like Indiana Jones and The Kingdom of the Crystal Skull and Star Wars: The Last Jedi, movies that I was highly anticipating that just crushed me and let me down. And I Know What You Did Last Summer 2025 officially goes on that list. I was not expecting much. My bar was not set very high because I understand that I Know What You Did Last Summer is not Scream. It is because of Scream that we got that movie 28 years ago. I understand that, but I'm so emotionally attached to that film for various reasons, as I've stated before, being probably the second or third horror movie I ever watched as a young little boy, and falling, the way I fell for that craze, that era of horror movies, from Scream to Final Destination, the late 90s run that my brother subjected me to before anything. So, that movie holds an extremely important spot in my heart. And it introduced me to what I've become, and for a few years, I've been waiting for this, and I was not expecting a masterpiece. I was not expecting any sort of Oscar-worthy performances or anything along those lines, but there was, the only redeemable thing from that movie was the t-shirt. That was it. Everything else, I feel sick to my stomach. I really do. I just, words cannot describe how disappointed I am. I went into Five Cream I wasn't nervous because it's Scream. Was I nervous because Wes Craven wasn't there to steer the ship? Maybe a little bit. But it's Scream. And it was done right. And what about Scream 5 and 6? Made it important with the whole legacy sequel and the requel thing? You had characters that you cared about. I didn't give a flying fuck about anybody in that movie, other than the dream sequence with Helen Shivers and the little bits and pieces of somewhat maybe interesting things with J-Love. That's about it. Otherwise, I didn't give a shit about anybody. I went into Scream 5 and initially I instantly fell in love with Sam. Was hooked and just was, okay, here it is. Here's the new girl. I'm hooked. I'm ready to go. Nobody in this new movie. No, I couldn't get that with anybody. It was pathetic. How do you feel about that?
Yeah, I I was immediately disappointed, and I thought that immediately it was stupid. But also, sitting next to Jacob is pretty hilarious because I can tell when he's displeased.
Really?
Yeah. So, there's like so many parts I can't talk in a movie with Jacob, or he'll freak out. So, there were so many times that I knew something was going to tick him off, and I'd just look over and be like, ooh.
I mean, yeah, maybe there were a couple of interesting, cool kills, and the fishermen look cool.
Nah.
I mean, whatever, but I got a few things I wanted, you know what I mean? There was no mention of Ben Willis whatsoever. So I'm like, all right, I'm cool with this. We're gonna move on to something new. All right, okay. But for a while there, it really felt like, okay, is this gonna be just a sequel to the original movie? But no, it ended up having that stupid fucking line about hopping on a boat and going to the Bahamas. Oh, I wouldn't fucking do that if I were you, or whatever the fuck he said. Like, oh, of course. Yeah, we'll get to that later. You know, I'm not the biggest fan of I Still Know What You Did Last Summer, but compared to what I just watched, I'd watch that on repeat over and over and over again for a week. I'm sick to my stomach right now. I'm so disappointed, even though my bar was set so low. I just wanted to walk out satisfied.
Yeah.
I wanted to walk out of there like, all right, this was cool. I'm all right. I'm good. And I mean, it's been very, very hard over the last 48 hours or so to stay off of YouTube, stay away from what everybody has to say. You know what I mean? I'm very intrigued. I'm waiting for you, Nick. If you're watching this, if Nick Push is watching this, I can't wait to see what you have to say about this. Because, I mean, I know how you feel about this movie, too, and I don't know if you're going to feel the same way for the same reasons that I do. But, I'm sure Wolfgang's got nards. He's got a few things he's not going to like about this, and so on and so forth. I mean, it'll be a while before Dave McRae sees this movie. I know he's not out in any rush, even though he still loves J-Love. I get it, but, it'll be a while until we hear what he has to say about this. But I know my brother's looking down on me right now and laughing because he didn't have to sit in the theater and watch this.
All right, so since this is obviously a spoiler for people that haven't seen the movie, if they're going to watch it, what did you think of the very ending?
Yeah, of course, yeah, all this freaking, is Brandy going to show up? Yeah, what are we going to say? One of the things I was talking, I thought about this like a year ago. Oh, what are they going to show at Julie's house? Yes, they had the great picture with Barry Cox and Helen Shivers. Okay, the three of them, no Ray. Who needs Ray? Fuck Ray. Now, that was kind of cool. All right, no picture of her and Brandy on the mantle, whatever. I knew there was going to be an end credit scene, you know what I mean? But at the same time, I didn't dive into it. I didn't look too deep.
But when it finally came up, now Jacob has a hurt back right now. We're both crippled. I can't walk. I crutched all the way up to the back row, right in the center. That's the tickets that we got, because that's where we sit for all these movies. And 45 minutes early to make sure that I got up those stairs and we were sitting where we have to. And Jacob, sitting in the movie this whole time, his back obviously stiffened up. And if he could have gotten up and walked out, he totally would have.
I was in the same theater that 8 years ago I was escorted out of with another group of people. There's a lot of memories. I saw a lot of epic movies in that theater, and I've seen a lot of shit shows in that theater. It brings back a lot of memories of wanting to just walk out. I really felt like I multiple times I just felt sick to my stomach. I just wanted to cry. It was pathetic. All I wanted was just to be satisfied, and I certainly wasn't. My emotions are getting to me. I get it, you know what I mean? But, it was nice at the same time. They tried to give us new characters. They tried to make us care about people. They were dull. They were boring. I couldn't latch on to anybody.
I knew from the minute the movie started, when they're coming around the curve, I knew from that moment when he scared her to make her slam on her brakes, that when they continued with that storyline, just completely basically redoing the original, I knew Jacob's gonna hate it.
Well, I hated it from the title sequence, seeing that font from the stupid ass Amazon TV show. That was ridiculous.
I know.
that pissed me. I wouldn't even let her watch the Amazon show. It was that I knew it was just trash, absolute trash. This had the potential to be something good, something special, something really interesting. And I mean, it was disgusting. It was absolutely disgusting. Yes, Helen Shivers is dead, but she was the star of this movie. SMG looked great, and she was the star of this movie.
Yeah, I'd say I agree.
That was it.
But also, talk about, well, we talked about this on the way here. Talk about, like, so much like Scream with there being, like, an accomplice. You know what I'm saying? Like, there was an accomplice and he killed his accomplice. Like,
yeah, I mean,
when that happened, I was like, what is this, Scream? Like, it was exactly, it was like watching a mirror.
Ben Willis didn't kill his son.
Yeah.
That was ridiculous. Yeah, it was cool to not hear anything about him. It was cool to move on from that. But are you kidding me? Dude, yeah, Freddie Prinze. I'm supposed to believe that chump was the kill. Are you fucking kidding me? He was the mastermind behind all this.
Yeah,
I'm supposed to believe that?
No way.
Are you fucking kidding me? No! Absolutely not! That was a load of dog shit. Yes. I am very, very happy that those two did not live happily ever after. I think it's kind of stupid that they fucking got married and divorced. That's kind of dumb. But I'm happy it wasn't their kid who was going through shit or this or that. But it's like, what the hell? Come on. Are you kidding me? What the fuck? Oh my God. I mean, I knew as a 10, 11-year-old kid he was a little chump in Scooby-Doo. Like, what the fuck?
Did you hear the comparison that they made? There was a comparison to them being the Scooby-Doo.
Yeah, and I wonder why they did that. Yeah, I don't know. I'm baffled. I'm
Jacob's spitting through many emotions.
This does not change how I feel about that original film. That will always hold a special spot in my heart forever. It always will, always has, always will. But what I just watched, what I just came out of, that was just, this is different. It's not like Elm Street in 2010. That was a remake, and I didn't go into that expecting to be blown away. Even as a 18, 19-year-old kid, I knew what I was getting into. Rob Zombie's Halloween. Rob Zombie? Yeah, of course. No! I knew what I was getting into. Child's Play, that was a remake. I knew what I was getting into. I was only 10 years old in the theater for Texas Chainsaw Massacre. I mean, I knew it was something different, and I had an older person with me explaining and guiding me through it. I went into this movie as something that's been with me forever, that I have waited so long and so hard to just grasp onto and be, this is exactly what we needed. And it just took a big pile of donkey shit and wiped it all over my face. Life has been very, very stressful and hectic these last 3 months, and I have not been able to dedicate any time to sit down and talk to you guys. I mean, We got a new roof put on our house. That ended up being a nightmare and complicated stressfulness, dealing with a lot of things, you know, and my wife gets injured, and we've been just dealing with a lot of complicated things. Work has been crazy. It's just, life has really been hitting hard, and you know, it sucks, but, you know, we missed the, you know, the Jaws 50th anniversary showing that we were going to be going to, that I had planned like a year in advance. We're going to go to a different one later in the summer and make up for it. We watched Jaws outside with the girls a couple weeks ago. It was real fun, but like...
It was on the 4th of July.
Yeah, exactly. So I need something to make up for how I'm feeling, you know. I was, you know, I only saw a handful of middle-aged men there. I did see some younger people. It was nice to see a different crop of people in the theater. Decent, you know, we went to a late showing, but probably half full, you know. Still good to see people wanting to go see a scary movie in the summer, whatever. But just, if that's your first introduction to something like this,
yeah,
that was pathetic. Absolutely disgusting. Just, I don't know what the three of them got paid, but it must have been a handsome amount for that, you know, for Freddie Prinze and J Love to just sign off on that. I can't imagine them, you know, I can't imagine them being okay with the way they went out like that. I get it. I mean, it wasn't their movie, and I totally respect that, and that's exactly what I wanted.
I would say that's the guy you wanted to die.
Yes, oh yes. Well, yeah, I mean, there's nobody else more that would want to die more than Ray Bronson because he's a chump. But
regardless, like, I enjoyed Jennifer Love Hewitt. Like, she's my favorite, anyways. My favorite scream queen. Mwah, love you. But I mean, I was pleased with everything that she did and having her on the screen in general. I don't feel like they screwed her at all or like portrayed her like shit.
Oh no, but I was so pissed about what was surrounding it that I didn't get the butterflies that I got when I was 5 years old. So it just hurts. It really hurts. Makes you want to cry. It really, really does. I don't give a shit. You know what I mean? I knew Halloween Kills was going to be different. I went into that with a whole different mindset. I knew Halloween Ends was not going to be Michael and Laurie's end story. I knew the whole Corey Cunningham thing, so I was prepared for things like that. I was not prepared for this to be so freaking cheesy. It's like, what the fuck was I watching? The Fisherman in Southport? Or was he going to fucking Bayside? I mean, this guy in the movie, I thought I was watching like AC Slater and Zach Morris. It was freaking pathetic.
That's a good comparison.
Like, that was just ridiculous. I mean, am I going to force myself to watch this again and when I'm a little bit more calm, cool, and collected, and try to see if I can connect a few dots? Yes, I'm going to do that. But I'm just so mentally wrung dry right now. It's not even funny. Like, you don't have to worry about Scream. You had to worry about this. It really, really hurts. You know, and I'm hearing what they'll do with Urban Legend. That is not going to hurt me, because I've always said I really think out of Scream, I know, in Urban Legend, I think you can remake or reboot Urban Legend on a modern day kind of film and make it rather interesting. You don't need to rely on legacy characters or this or that. You can just start fresh and do something new. That might be interesting. So I hope that actually does come to fruition and that happens. That will be interesting, because this made me sick. This whole little, oh, it's not over. Yeah, this movie is not. No, absolutely not. If there are people like me and the true horror fans, and especially the fans of this generation of movies, once the word gets out about how this turned out, so we're not going to be seeing you again, Brandy. Okay, we're not going to be seeing Carla and Julie freaking go to town on whoever the fuck it is next. We're not going to be seeing that. So I got nothing to worry about. Just like at the end of Halloween Resurrection when Michael fucking opens his eyes. No, we're not getting a sequel to that either. Why? Because it's an absolute pile of dog shit and nobody wants to see that. Just like I don't want to see a continuation of this.
Okay.
I'm just so wound up.
All right. Well, it was nice to say hello to everybody. Mrs. Rourke here on the channel for the first time, my big debut. And Jacob, your final thoughts.
Everybody, as I've said many times, everybody has different opinions. There are people out there that might even like, I'll always know what you did last summer. Honey, have I ever shown you that movie?
No,
Do I own that movie?
we do not.
There's a lot of reasons why. You know, there's people out there that like the crummy movie. That's totally fine. If you watch this and you enjoy it, that's okay. There's reasons why I don't enjoy this, and a lot of you will understand, and I think will respect why. But I have to take the night to just let this download into my brain and calm down a little bit. I'm overdoing it. I get it. It's sad, but it is what it is. You know, I'm just all I'm saying is all this movie did was make me more excited for the Buffy reboot. SMG looked great. She's gonna be rocking it. We're ready for Buffy the Vampire Slayer revival. That's what we need. That's all that this movie made me excited for. That and what I want for my birthday. That T-shirt.
Okay.
Good night, everybody.
Bye.